Yeah, he takes the top shirt off. He's got the shirt of Eric Bischoff, and then there's a spot where they pull the shirt up so that Eric Bischoff's face is over Cactus Jack's face, and then they're hitting him with a chair because they're beating Eric Bischoff now.
Yeah, he's hitting Eric Bischoff.
So I don't know.
Johnny Grunge tells Rocco Rock, at least they don't have to take woman's raggedy ass home tonight. Despite the fact that both of them were being extremely thirsty when she was dancing earlier, not 5 minutes ago. Scorpio and Sandman had to intervene.
Yeah, they were trying to push up on her.
Shut up. Johnny Grunge would pay money for someone like woman.
My Peacock stream, anytime someone said on the mic, they allowed that. But whatever they were calling Stevie Richards, it was all bleeped. So I can only imagine what this crowd would make sense either, because Ray got pinned like 100 times and still won the match.
Well, Styles was trying to say he was playing possum all those other falls.
But getting pinned so many times, his mask came off because he was still from the AAA promotion at this point. You know,
right?
They're masked luchador. So I don't know if that was like, oh my god.
I was just shocked that it was actually Conan. I was like, man, this motherfucker looks like a Conan. Gets on the mic, welcomes us to the pay-per-view, thanks the fans and the Dudley Boys for helping him through his small problem. He's no longer a stuttering prick. He says, without further ado, let's get ready to, and then he starts to fake stutter.
What do you mean he started to fake stutter?
Let's get ready to...
There you go.
Up next, we have ECW November to Remember, 1995. We are out of the ECW arena, as is tradition. Joey Styles opened the show, promises that we're about to see the greatest night of ECW action ever. Rey Mysterio Jr. goes one-on-one against Psychosis in a Mexican death match. ECW Commissioner Todd Gordon will clash with referee Bill Alfonso. Beulah McGillicuddy will be the special guest referee.
Who's a woman, it should be noted.
The Sandman and Too Cold Scorpio are taking on Public Enemy, and what I'm sure will be a Matt classic of the ages. Whoever gets the pinfall gets a shot at the ECW title for some reason. I don't remember them explaining it.
I also think I heard in that match, Too Cold Scorpio's television title was on the line somehow.
Seriously?
I'm pretty sure I heard that, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Good for him. And of course, our main event is Cactus Jack and Raven versus Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk. This is one of Funk's last matches before one of his many retirements. Paul Heyman promises that this will be a November to Remember, and the audio was complete dog shit.
Yeah, it was hard to hear him over the PA, like all around. But it was also because the crowd was so damn loud.
So the first match of the night is Broad Street Bully versus Don E. Allen. And before you can even see the two competitors, the crowd is chanting, "You both suck dick." Kind of tells you the caliber of performer that we're about to see. Bubba Ray Dudley is introduced as the special guest ring announcer for some reason. So out come the Dudley Boys. This version of the Dudley Boys is Sign Guy Dudley, Chubby Dudley, Dances with Dudley, Big Dick Dudley, and of course Bubba Ray.
Which one was the Indian?
I think that was Dances with Dudley, if I were to guess.
Okay. So they're basically the Wyatts with so many versions of the Dudleys.
Sure.
And still they don't have Devon. First of all, you had the Indian guy was a Dudley. Bubba, who we come to learn has a stuttering problem, and who's also afraid of Big Dick Dudley. And then, yeah, Sign Guy. So he's just there to hold a sign. So they're all like Carney.
Yeah, they're more of a comedy act. But at least they got rid of Snot, that fucking useless piece of shit.
Oh, we also didn't see Spike Dudley, who we'll come to learn is also part of this Dudley family.
Bubba Ray is dressed like the mayor, so he's taking the ring announcer gig very seriously. He gets on the mic, welcomes us to the pay-per-view, thanks the fans and the Dudley Boys for helping him through his small problem. Bubba's no longer nervous. He's no longer a stuttering prick. And he says, without further ado, let's get ready to, and then he starts to fake stutter. Badly.
What do you mean he started to fake stutter?
Let's get ready to...
There you go.
That's how you stutter in Bubba Ray Dudley's world.
Yeah. Now, I was wondering, obviously they were doing that because they didn't want to get their ass sued.
I guess. I didn't think about that, but it was just really bad. But anyway, Big Dick Dudley gets pissed and hits Bubba. Bubba literally says, "Fuck this," and he just starts beating the shit out of Donnie Allen. Then he power bombs him. Broad Street Bully gets on the action, jumps on Bubba's back like a woman. Bubba shrugs him off and hits him with a power bomb. And then Bubba pins Broad Street Bully, and the ref gives him the pinfall for some reason. So the winner of the match between Broad Street Bully and Donnie Allen is Bubba Ray Dudley, the ring announcer.
Yes. There is one touch that I did like, and it's just like an old school thing that they used to do in WWE. I heard it, and I think they did it early WCW too. But they actually like announced the time of the match, like your winner after 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh, that is a good touch, yeah.
Yeah, they did that all night. I liked it.
Yeah, it gives it legitimacy.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's in the ring. He asks for the lights to be dimmed, and I guess Sabu's back now. I didn't know he left. Joey Styles confirms it, says, "Oh my God!" And he said it very calmly. Or he didn't say it calmly, but his expression was very calm. And then Heyman promises that Sabu's wrestling tonight.
Which I didn't even hear that.
After that, two guys come out. One guy looks like a discount Scotty Riggs. He turns out to be just Jason. I guess he's European. The other guy looks like a discount Conan before he went Cholo. Oh, it is Conan. And then Taz comes out to officiate. Joey Styles wants to know why. I do too. Taz says ECW won't let him wrestle, so he's out there to enforce his will. And he says he ain't no referee, despite having a referee shirt on. And just Jason interrupts Taz, calls him a son of a bitch and a monkey boy. Taz says just Jason better focus on having his hands full with Conan and keep his fucking hands off Taz. Just Jason talks more shit. Taz asks him if they're both ready, then sucker punches just Jason. Conan wins with a splash mountain in seconds.
I was slightly excited that we might be getting a Conan versus Taz match at some point.
That would be something. Conan looked dangerous.
He did, and his mask came off, and I don't know if that was like, oh my God, or not. Because he was still from the AAA promotion at this point, you know,
right.
They're masked luchador. So I don't know if that was like, oh my God.
I was just shocked that it was actually Conan. I was like, man, this motherfucker looks like a Conan wannabe. After that, we have El Puerto Riqueño versus Stevie Richards. Blue Meanie's in the crowd. He gives Richards a belly shirt that says flock of seagulls. Richards is excited, invites Meanie ringside, and Joey Styles is disgusted. Styles says they're friends, or they're really attracted to one another. He said, well, we're just going to assume they're friends. El Puerto Riqueño jumps Stevie before the match even starts and whips his ass. He hits a moonsault and a missile dropkick from the top rope, and then he dives on Meanie for no reason with a tope. Crowd calls Meanie a fat fuck for that. The crowd is just vicious. I love it.
Yeah.
Richards then hits Riqueño with two Stevie bombs, tells Meanie to get on the top rope. Meanie doesn't want to. Stevie makes him do it anyway. And Blue Meanie misses a moonsault. Crowd tells Meanie he fucked up. Riqueño almost wins with the schoolboy. Stevie gets a pin after a Stevie kick. And then Richards drags Meanie to the back after the match. So it's like he's Raven now.
About to be the start of the BWO, I believe.
Clearly. They just need to get that Nova guy.
I noticed, though, on my Peacock stream, anytime someone said fuck on the mic or the crowd chanted it, they allowed that. But whatever they were calling Stevie Richards, it was all bleeped. So I can only imagine what this crowd was calling him.
I don't know what they were calling him. Well, at my stream, they would bleep out asshole. But yeah, you'd hear fuck. It's really weird.
Yeah. Or maybe whoever had to go through and do that just missed it. That'd have to be a taxing job to go through and edit out all the cuss words from like this. You have to watch it all and edit it out.
I think it'd be worse to do the copyrighted theme songs.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Well, just Jason is back. He manages the Eliminators, which is a team consisting of Perry Saturn and some dude named Cronus. They're facing the Pitbulls, who are out there with Francine, who's dressed like a whore. Not only does Saturn have hair, he has a copious amount of it, which was really weird. And Pitbull number 1 and Saturn start off, and they just no-sell each other's offense. Then Pitbull number 1 no-sells better than Saturn, and he just starts pummeling him. Pitbull 2 hits a glacier kick, and then Kronos and Pitbull 2 get in. Crowd chants boring. Then Kronos hits a dragon suplex. Saturn gets back in, does a diving thing to Pitbull number 2. Looks like Saturn got the worst of it. Did like a clothesline to Pitbull number 2 while he was standing on the apron. And then it looked like Saturn just glanced off of him and fell right to the floor. Saturn gets alley-ooped by Kronos, and he hits a moonsault to the Pitbull on the floor. And Kronos hits a flipping leg drop. Just Jason hits Pitbull number 2 with a cheap shot from the floor. And Pitbull 2 gets tossed out of the ring, and his arm gets sliced open. Styles sold it really good. He's like, it's 3 inches wide and it's gushing blood. Who knows how deep it is? Saturn hits him with a Frankensteiner from the top rope. He goes for another top rope Frankensteiner, and the Pitbull 2 counters it with a powerbomb. Then Kronos and Pitbull 1 start brawling. Just Jason hits Pitbull 2 with a leg drop. We'll have to take ECW's word for it because they didn't show it on camera. And it did nothing because both legal men immediately just stand up and tag their partners in. So I don't even know why Just Jason even did anything. And then everyone starts fighting. It's a clusterfuck. Pitbull's basically to a dominator to Kronos. Sends him out of the ring. Pitbull's hit Saturn with a guillotine. Then Just Jason breaks up the fucking pin. I was over this match by this point. Pitbull 2 tries to go after Just Jason. Then Kronos hits him with some flip thing. Pitbulls end up hitting a super bomb to Kronos for the win. And after the match, Just Jason tries to force Francine to have intercourse with him. They had her leg hooked and everything. It was uncomfortable to watch. Just Jason ends up getting hit with a chair. Then the Eliminators beat the fuck out of the Pitbulls. And then the Pitbulls celebrate for some reason after getting their ass beat.
I thought it was an okay match. I was into it more than I was into like the big. Well, I don't know if the beginning were really matches, but this was the first match. I was like, okay, this is actually a decent showing. Maybe it's just compared to what we got before.
Yeah, that was a good match. I just thought it was really long.
It was.
And that Jason guy just fucking, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, up next we have Psychosis versus Rey Mysterio Jr. It's a Mexican death match, or Muerte de Mexicana. When someone's pinned or submitted, they have a 10 count to keep fighting or give up, apparently. Genius having the special guest Spanish ring announcer. It really set up the vibe. And Rey gave Psychosis the finger before the match started. That's really extreme, so said Styles. It starts off with Psychosis missing a move, and Rey gets a quick pin. And Psychosis, of course, answers the 10 count. Then they fight out to the floor. Rey sets up the guardrail, then fucks up trying to launch himself off of it. Psychosis throws Rey back in the ring, pins him after a moonsault. Rey, I guess, beats the 10 count. It's iffy. Psychosis beats Rey's ass some more, then pins him after a powerbomb. Rey beats the 10 count. Psychosis tries to grab a chair, but the ref stops him before he can bring it to the ring. Psychosis does some weird corkscrew thing and lands right on Rey's face. Gets another pin. Rey beats the 10 count. Psychosis kicks his ass some more. Psychosis gets the chair, brings it into the ring. Ref doesn't give a shit this time at all. Psychosis DDTs Rey onto the chair, then does a moonsault to Rey's back with the chair lying on top of him. Psychosis gets another pin. Rey beats the count somehow. Psychosis runs into Rey's dick. And then Psychosis goes for another moonsault on the chair, but Rey's playing possum, gets his knees up, and somehow that didn't fuck up Rey's knees since, they were underneath the steel chair.
Of course.
Then they fight to the floor, onto the crowd. Rey does a crazy moonsault from the apron. Psychosis tries to run away despite being ahead by 100 pins. Then they fight deeper in the crowd, then back to the ringside, then back to the other side of the crowd. They fight to these platform things where I guess Joey Styles is set up. Rey does a Frankensteiner from a higher platform to Psychosis onto a chair and gets his second pin. And apparently falls count anywhere now. But then Rey and the ref have to run back to the ring before they can officially start the count, which didn't make any sense to me.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter, though, because Psychosis loses. And then fucking Just Jason comes out again. Tells Rey how awesome he is. Rey tries to leave. Just Jason tries to stop Rey and forces him to listen to all the great things he has to say about him. Just Jason tries to recruit Rey, and he wants to be his manager or whatever. Rey says no. Just Jason calls him a little bitch. Rey kicks him in the face and then does a Frankensteiner. And then he calls him shit. Then the Eliminators come out and just beat the fuck out of Lil Ray. Then the 911 guy comes out and he awkwardly tussles with the Eliminators, and then he ends up choke slamming the bad guys. Then Ray slits on his shoulders.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. And the match didn't make sense either because Ray got pinned like 100 times and still won the match.
Well, Styles was trying to say he was playing possum all those other falls. He's trying to sucker Psychosis in by getting his ass kicked.
By getting pinned so many times. I mean, I guess that's the rules of such match, but I think they could have done without the pin part of it and just do a traditional last man standing, can't answer the 10 count. It would have made a lot more sense. Because, yeah, you make Psychosis kind of look like a geek by, pinning Ray so many times, but still not winning.
Well, up next we have the Sandman, Too Cold Scorpio versus the fucking Public Enemy. It's for the ECW tag titles, and the guy who gets the pin gets an ECW title shot, apparently this very pay-per-view. Sandman smokes and drinks on the floor while Scorpio dances in the ring for some reason. Then Woman gets in the ring while Too Cold Scorpio dances up on her while Sandman watches from the floor like a cuck. He's laughing about it. Yeah, fuck my woman. Scorpio grabs the mic, says he's going to give credit where credit's due, and he turns to Sandman. Scorpio says if Public Enemy don't want to get their asses beat, there's the door. And he challenges Rocco Rock to a dance-off. Rocco Rock gets the mic, and he says, boy, what do you say? Boy, white man can't dance? Sandman gets on the mic and encourages this bullshit. Scorpio danced. Joey Styles fucking danced. Rocco Rock made a series of gestures that I guess you could call dancing. Sandman danced. Woman dances. Then Public Enemy, who clearly lost the dance-off, start waving their arms like they just don't fucking care. Scorpio and Sandman attack them from behind because, oh, by the way, this is a fucking tag team title match where somehow it determines the number one contender for the world heavyweight title.
Yeah, there's a title shot on the line. You're having a dance-off.
Public Enemy clear the ring. Then their fucking song plays again and they start dancing. Then Johnny Grunge tells Rocco Rock at least they don't have to take Woman's raggedy ass home tonight, despite the fact that both of them were being extremely thirsty when she was dancing earlier, not 5 minutes ago. Scorpio and Sandman had to intervene.
Yeah, they were trying to push up on her.
So now they're trying
whoa.
She's raggedy. Shut up. Johnny Grunge would pay money for someone like Woman. So Sandman got the pin after happening to land on one of the Public Enemy guys. And this was the ugliest match I think I've ever seen in my life. They were doing hurricanranas and they were just falling over and it was slow. Scorpio was the only athlete, the best athlete by a mile. After the match, Scorpio revived Sandman with beer, and then Sandman began dancing again because we didn't have enough of that.
And why was Sandman wearing a bandana?
I don't know.
Because he wasn't wearing it later. I only assume he was wearing it because he was out there with Scorpio.
I got like a Carpenter vibe. I didn't get like a hip hop vibe. Yeah. That was awful. But somehow the Sandman faces Mikey Whipwreck later. So there's that. We have referee Bill Alfonso versus Commissioner Todd Gordon. Alfonso was hired by Shane Douglas after he lost the ECW title to Sandman. Alfonso attacked Gordon for some reason, then got chokeslammed by 911. And Alfonso attacked Gordon again, and then got his ass kicked by Beulah McGillicuddy. Beulah McGillicuddy comes out because she's the guest referee. Crowd starts chanting for her to show her tits like immediately. Joey Styles wants her to do that as well.
Yes, he agrees.
Alfonso jumps Gordon with a barrage of sissy slaps during his entrance, then gets into it with Beulah. Beulah slaps Alfonso. Alfonso levels her with a clothesline, and we never see her again. Gordon and Alfonso fight like women. Gordon gets on the mic. You think you're tough with women? Let's see how you handle a man. Gordon kicks Alfonso's ass until the little fucker hits the commissioner in the dick. Then Alfonso gets on the mic. I'm going to kick Gordon's ass. Then they fight like sissies again. Alfonso gets busted open. Gordon gets a frying pan to finish Alfonso off. Alfonso ends up getting the frying pan, but Gordon hits him in the dick. And then Gordon levels Alfonso with the frying pan, makes the cover, but Beulah McGillicuddy's still out. Remember, we never saw her again, with the single clothesline from a sissy. So out comes Taz, who very awkwardly turns on Todd Gordon. Alfonso gets the pin. Taz cuts a promo about his feelings being hurt. Says Bill Alfonso wants to put food on his table and money in his pocket. Don't know how a referee's going to accomplish that, but that's what Taz wants. Taz then gets into it with a fan. He laid down, like, come on, give me a free shot. Look at your head. I've seen better heads come out of a zipper.
I don't know. I did like the fact that it wasn't like a traditional wrestling match, I guess. Like you said, they were like throwing the worst punches that you can see. But it's a commissioner or a referee. They're like not going to be Brock Lesnar versus someone.
My biggest problem is it was so obviously fake. Todd Gordon's punches were not landing at all. And the ones that did land were obviously not real punches. This exposed the business, brother.
It did, but yeah, I think it added to the fact that they're, not traditional wrestlers. You didn't see like headlocks or body slams or hurricanranas.
That I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with them just brawling and fighting and stuff. It's just the fact that when they did brawl and fight, it was so goddamn fake.
Yes, it was.
Especially Gordon. At least Alfonso slapped. I can believe Alfonso would sissy slap. But Gordon was throwing these punches that were just not... Like, he would completely miss Alfonso's head.
Yeah.
Well, up next, we have the Sandman versus Mikey Whipwreck. Again, Sandman has earned the right to face Whipwreck earlier. But Steve Austin doesn't give a shit. He attacks Sandman and stun guns him on the guardrail. Sandman gets dragged away by Damage Control, which is, I guess, the medical staff for ECW. Austin gets the mic, says, Whipwreck, get your ass out here, son. Whipwreck comes out. Austin says he's going to pretend Whipwreck is Eric Bischoff while he's whooping his ass. Then Austin proceeds to beat the shit out of Whipwreck while talking shit the entire time. Crowd chants Hogan at Austin, so Austin drops the Hogan leg drop. He does a big boot and then a Hogan leg drop. Austin throws Whipwreck.
Weird to see.
It was. The big boot especially. It was really weird. It was weird seeing Austin with hair.
Yeah.
Austin throws Whipwreck on the floor, then Whipwreck starts firing back. Austin tries to get sympathy, but he's like he tore his tricep earlier, and I guess that's what caused WCW to release him. So now he's with ECW. So Whipwreck starts, firing back, and then Austin immediately points at his tricep. My tricep's hurting. Give me a break. Whipwreck doesn't give a shit. Austin hits Whipwreck with a stun gun that gets kicked out of. Austin's look of desperation was fucking fantastic. People need to take notes on that shit. That fake shocked look that they do every single time someone kicks out now.
NXT face.
Yeah, NXT face. But Austin beats the shit out of Whipwreck some more. Whipwreck wins with a sunset flip and a handful of tights. Thankfully, they blurred out Austin's ass. And Austin fucks up Whipwreck after the match and just leaves. He was stunned that little Whipwreck could beat him.
Speaking of geeks, they made him look like a geek because they built it up. Whipwreck, he was prepared for one of the Public Enemy guys, or Too Cold Scorpio, or Sandman. He got none of them. He got Steve Austin. So he was unprepared, and Steve Austin still lost.
Whipwreck is also the ultimate underdog, from what I gather.
There's that, too. So assuming they're building up to, like, someone's just going to come out and dominate him and win. Like, Mike Austin just come out and kill him.
Maybe. But it made sense that Austin would beat his ass, and then he kind of gets distracted, and then Whipwreck wins with a fluke. And he still got left laying after the match. So he won the match, but he definitely didn't win the night.
Maybe I was just too excited to see Austin as ECW champion. I was already fantasy booking. Like, oh, we're going to see Austin versus Sandman, Taz.
I don't think Austin's ECW run is that long.
I don't think it is either.
Well, next up is Hack Myers versus Sabu. And they start off very blasé. Sabu does a weak-looking springboard chair attack with his ass. Crowd starts chanting boring. Myers hits his move, his little finisher, but Sabu has his foot on the ropes. They fight on the floor. Sabu hits a guillotine leg drop, then a DDT, and then he hits a springboard Frankensteiner to Myers on the floor. Looked like Sabu might have bumped his head in the process. Heyman, the owner of ECW, is openly rooting for Sabu and helping him. Sabu goes for another Frankensteiner, but it's countered into a powerbomb. And then Sabu hits a victory roll from the top rope. Myers grabs a chair, with a fan's jacket still attached to it and whacks Sabu over the head with it. Then Myers positions the chair in the corner, tries to hit his finisher again. Sabu pushes Myers off the top rope and he goes face first onto the chair. Spills to the floor again. Sabu sets up a table, puts Myers through it. Myers beats the tank out, then Sabu pins him after an Arabian facebuster from the top rope. And Sabu shows respect after the match. And he did this weird thing where he looked like he was going to punch him, and then he shook his hand. Stupid, because he kept doing it.
This match was the one that drugged for me.
Well, I just kept saying, is this it? Like, I'm not, my Sabu history, I'm not too brushed up on that. But I'm watching this and I'm like, yeah, this isn't very exciting. Where's the homicidal, genocidal, whatever the fuck?
Give him time. We're still building up to everything, apparently.
Well, finally, we're at a main event. Terry Funk and Tommy Dreamer versus Cactus Jack and Raven. Funk gets on the mic, says he'll remember what Cactus Jack did to him forever, calls him an asshole. Cactus Jack comes out wearing a Dungeon of Doom shirt. This disgust styles almost as much as the Flock of Seagulls shirt. Crowd calls Cactus a faggot because of the shirt he's wearing, I think. Cactus gets on the mic, wants to fight Terry Funk on the floor, and then it just turns into a Looney Tune match. Cheese grater, golf club, toilet seat, speed limit sign, crowd chanted ECW. Cactus rips off the Dungeon of Doom shirt to reveal an Eric Bischoff shirt. Styles can't believe it. Bill Alfonso and Taz came out to beat up Terry Funk and Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer DDTs Raven twice, then pile drives him onto a chair. Terry Funk gets the pin. After the match, Cactus Dreamer onto a chair. Dreamer immediately gets up, kicks Stevie Richards' ass. He didn't sell that chair shot at all, or the DDT. Dreamer then wraps barbed wire around the skull of Raven. Meanwhile, Cactus Jack is strangling Terry Funk with wire on the apron. And the bad guys overcome the good guys.
Yeah, it was kind of a clusterfuck, that match. I don't know if I liked it or not. I'm still deciding. The part where, he takes the top shirt off. He's got the shirt of Eric Bischoff underneath. And then there's a spot where they pull the shirt up so that Eric Bischoff's face is over Cactus Jack's face. And then they're hitting him with a chair because they're beating Eric Bischoff now.
Yeah, he's hitting Eric Bischoff.
So I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
Yes. Oh, I didn't like it at all. If I don't like the WCW matches that are better, I'm not going to like this shit. I mean, I like the fact that Cactus Jack and Terry Funk were involved, but I wish it was a singles match. Fucking Looney Tune shit, man.
Yeah. At least it's consistent.
Well, that was November to remember. The feud between Mikey Whipwreck and Steve Austin over the ECW World title would continue. At December to Dismember, Whipwreck would defend his title against Steve Austin and the Sandman in a three-way dance. Sandman ultimately won. The feud between Tommy Dreamer and Raven continued. The team of Tommy Dreamer, the Public Enemy, and the Pitbulls later faced Raven, the Heavenly Bodies, the Eliminators, and Stevie Richards in an Ultimate Jeopardy steel cage match at December to Dismember. I guess the good guys won. Up next for us for ECW is CyberSlam 1996. The main event is the Sandman versus Raven for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. But before that, we have WWE Clash in Paris 2025, which will take place in Nanterre, France. It's the second pay-per-view / live streaming event in France. First one obviously was Backlash last year. This is the first one in the Paris metropolitan area, and it will feature John Cena's first and only appearance at a pay-per-view in France as an in-ring performer. This will also be the last main roster pay-per-view / live streaming event to air on Peacock.
Yep, gotta go to ESPN. Well, we don't have to, as Stephanie McMahon herself is pushing get a VPN and watch it on Netflix.
There you go. The main event is Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight. Fatal 4-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Other matches are John Cena versus Logan Paul. We have Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. We have Sheamus versus Rusev in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. And, of course, we have a girl match.
And that starts in a few hours, too.